Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of the MCU Crew. A very big week here as Loki is going to be premiering on Wednesday. And we've seen the first... No, we haven't seen... Marvel doesn't care about us. We haven't seen...
I've seen the first episode. It was great. Actually, I guess some people have, and they love it. So
yeah, it's one of those things where they hand it out to people that are... They hand it out to people like me who are just, oh, this is great. This is a great show. Yeah, I really like the Lokis. Like, I'm not gonna, if I got early access to that, admittedly, I would not be like, this is the worst show ever made, right? Because then they wouldn't give me early access again next time. That's just how that works.
Well, I think that's always the fear when it comes to stuff like that, right? But I will say, most of the time when I know people who also give negative reviews, they still get stuff because, you know,
as long as they're not harsh,
then the company becomes the bad guy.
Yeah. As long as they're not super harsh, that's usually how it goes.
I mean, like, harshness is a spectrum. Like, you don't want to be like, it was balls awful and stank like buttholes. Then obviously they're not going to want to talk to you again. But if you're like, here's my criticism of why I think people are crazy for finding Hiddleston attractive, right? Like, then maybe they'll be like, you know.
That person would just be kicked off the internet at that point. They would.
Right. The internet would cancel that person, obviously, for terrible opinions.
Yeah. That's just how that goes. That's just how that goes. Jesse, glad to have you here. Bronze, how's it going?
Ooh. Pretty good.
All right, back to Jesse.
I got.
What happened to you?
Back
you were all
League of Legends, and so I feel like
no.
My entire sleep schedule, like all my well-being. I started playing ranked, and that's when I think I should have known that it was like, you know. That's when I'm like, I'm okay. Just go on without me.
What happened to you to make you love punishment so much?
What happened? There's no what went wrong. What?
Yeah. In your life, what went wrong to make this happen?
Forget Marvel for a second. This is an intervention here, Bronze. What's going on?
Talk to us.
Yes.
Are you okay?
We're here. No one's I'll turn the stream off.
You need anything from us? Do you need a hug?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with you?
We'll get on a plane.
Happened? Yeah. Look at my concerned, bad lighting face. What happened to you? What happened? Are you okay?
Wait, what is that? That's your concerned face?
It's really close to the other face that he was doing.
I
don't know that I have a concerned face, so I'm faking it till I make it. All right, I may not even really be concerned. Okay, work with me here.
He's good. That's his concerned face right there.
This is my concerned face is like,
yeah, that's a lot. Well, how have the games been going, Bronze? This is now a League of Legends podcast for the next 30 seconds. Are you winning? Are you killing them?
It's so weird. There is no like good game. It's always like either somebody on their team. Yeah, AFKs or feeds, or someone on ours does, and you stomp them into the ground or get stomped into the ground. But there's no such thing as that was close. They almost had us, friends. It's like, no, either we beat the absolute dog shit out of them, or that happens to us because we have like a fizz mid that went 0-10 and then AFK'd. So I'm just like, when am I going to get like an actual match where I'm like, oh, I deserve to win this, and not just because these people I'm playing against like trolled or sucked. And it has yet to happen.
True.
Like, I just haven't, like, in 30 ranked matches, 30 to 50 ranked matches.
Oh my God, you're in bad. You got a real addiction going on.
Yeah. I have yet to have like a match where I'm like, oh, good game. Well played. I'm just like, sorry that your Vel'Koz was like that. Or sorry that, you know, so weird.
So wait, so are you waiting for us to tell you it gets better? Because I'm gonna let you know it doesn't. I'm like, there is no it gets better in this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. The only thing that will increase is the amount of anger that you have towards human beings, most likely.
You're only going to become a worse person for this, but like, I'm here to watch. I want to see this happen. I want the most trolly meme edgelord version of yourself to exist, where you're just angry all the time. Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that.
It's all accurate. It's all accurate. Jesse ain't saying no lies.
Nope. I've lived that life.
Yeah.
It's like when you talk to people who got out of Scientology. That's what that feels like. You're like, no, those people are crazy.
You going clear?
I am very clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Bronze has been playing League. I'll take the spotlight off of her for a second. I've been playing Burning Crusade for some reason. I spent probably about 60 hours the past week in that dumb game. And that's pretty stupid. So Jesse, what self-harm have you inflicted on yourself in the past week in the game, in the world of video games and or maybe office
video
moving?
Games? I mean, so check this out. I was showing this to Bronze earlier.
Uh-oh.
So we got a like a chroma key screen, like this like really cool like a reflective screen that can be a green screen or a blue screen or whatever. It's the thing behind me. It looks white to you, but when you record, you put like lights in front, like a circular ring of green lights or blue lights, and it reflects back as a green screen. And just to like give you an example of like how bright this thing is, this is my phone.
Okay.
If I shine my phone, but see like the reflection.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's crazy bright back there. That's like what it does. It's my new favorite little toy to mess with.
Oh. Nice.
And you have to mess with it because it's like tech that I don't understand, but thank God I know people who do. So like,
yeah, that's some new age tech right there.
Yeah, so we're just moving into this office, get everything good to go. It's very nice. I'm
big tech.
Thrilled to be back to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess congratulations. You're back in an office. COVID has been defeated. It's done. There's no other issues.
For our small, tiny little corner of LA, yes. For the rest of the world, unfortunately, no.
No, it's rough. Yeah, it's still bad. Get vaccinated. Did you see the in the world of COVID, but also golf? Really big circles for our audience, obviously. Huge golfers.
Right.
Really
massive crossover.
Yeah, huge crossover here. I think it was yesterday, a guy who was 6 strokes ahead in a tournament where he would have won like a $1.6 or $1.7 million is walking off the course. This was on Saturday. Okay. Someone in my chat just see it. Huge crossover. We got golf fans.
I got a bunch of like, I like golf. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So
you can be nerds about other things too, besides the
He's
MCU.
walking off the course. And I think there's like 1 or 2 more rounds of golf to go, but he's ahead by a lot. And he's going to win a million, like $1.5 million. And one of the officials comes up to him and there's a camera on him and they're doing the like golf talk over. So it's like that one guy with like birds chirping behind him and they're doing the music build up like, well, he's leading today and we'll see how he can do tomorrow. And all of a sudden he gets some news and he like head between his knees, like starts bawling. And then they start walking off of the golf course and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, and they're like, we don't know what just transpired, but obviously very tragic news. Turns out he never got vaccinated. He tested positive for COVID. He's out. He can't play anymore. He's done.
Damn. Hey, remember when they said get vaccinated?
It's fucking insane.
remember when they said that?
He had to forfeit 6 strokes ahead with a $1.7 million pot.
Imagine fumbling your bag like that because you didn't get poked. You know, like he fumbled a $1.5 million bag.
It's crazy. Yeah, his name was John. His name is John Ram, something like that. Yeah.
That just goes to show like common sense gets overridden all the time. Like all he had to do was just like go do it. He's like, no, I'm good.
It's crazy,
like, bruh. $1.5 million. I'd go back and get it again for $1.5 million.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I go wait in line again.
That's I saw. If you have a thought about it later, go find the video of it because him like getting the news is very tragic in a lot of ways, but it's also just like, well, it's his fault. Like he could have gotten the vaccine, right? Like he did this to himself and no one else. Should have gotten the vaccine. So yeah, it's a lot. Could have had a million and a half for that. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about, I guess, Loki here, as we are all very eagerly anticipating. We're about 48 hours from the premiere on Wednesday. Are they doing that thing where it's like Wednesday at 3 a.m. again? Is that when are they doing that for this one? I would assume so. I think it launches midnight Pacific is when it goes live. Most, at least that's when Falcon and Wanda went live. I will not be up at that hour, but I will watch it eventually. We talked about the previews. They are very glowing. I'm going to say a spoiler, but I'm going to tell you about the spoiler and why it's not necessarily a spoiler here for episode 2. It has to do with where it takes place, but it has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if anything, it made me very excited for what this show could actually do. So if you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, by all means, take your headphones off. It's not a big deal.
I'm kidding. Yeah, what the hell is this?
The second episode of Loki takes place at a Holes rap party. 2002, the movie Holes. It takes place at a Holes rap party, apparently.
What?
I don't know why. I just know that's
Shia LaBeouf?
The Shia LaBeouf movie.
Wait, but like Shia LaBeouf is there?
I don't know. I just read a preview that said like the second episode takes place at a rap party of Holes in 2002. So I don't know what that means.
This show?
I don't know what that means, but I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited for it.
That has to be a joke. That has to be a joke.
I hope it's not, because that's great.
What does that mean?
I hope it's not. Because that's about to be crazy.
The movie with the guy like, you're gonna dig that hole for me. That movie?
Yeah.
The movie with the guy who's like,
yeah.
Oh my God. Where the concept is like they send children out to the desert to dig for treasure?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was Ben Meckler on Twitter who said this. Sorry, 2003. I could tell you a little bit more about it, but I'm not going to, because I did not read his full tweet. It says a little bit why he attends the rap party for Disney's 2003 hit Holes. But that's what happens.
I hate this.
It's pretty great. There's no Shia LaBeouf cameo. I will say that, according to this tweet. Yeah. It's a lot going on. I'm in. It's going to be a little absurd. I'm about it. The other big deal that happened from some of the previews, I think this was in a video that Disney put out. The TVA rap sheet of Loki confirms that his gender is fluid. And that's a huge deal in the MCU fanverse, is that the sex of Loki, Laufey's son, right? Because he's Laufey's son. I forgot about that. Is fluid. So could also mean that in my understanding, that means that we could get a female Loki in one of these episodes or something like that.
100% that's happening. 100% that's happening.
Yeah. I think they're going to do it now or in What If. I think they're trying to set up the audience for the expectation that it's not always going to be the Hiddleston, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here, I'll show the I'll show the image here real quick of his rap sheet so people can see it. A little zoom. The other interesting thing here is that it does say his weight is 525. Now, I don't know what measurement that is, but that's what it says. So I don't know what they use on the TVA world.
Well, gravity things, maybe.
Well,
a lot of people did say that gravity on Asgard is less or more. So they're, I don't know. What were we gonna say, Bronze?
Well, he's half frost giant. So like
he is.
I know I posited the theory last week that the Loki we see all the time is just the Loki that he chooses to appear as, and we don't actually know what he looks like. And
True.
this is the part where my memory gets a little fuzzy with Thor movies, but when they show
does become
baby
blue at
sequences
one
of
point.
him, I was going to say, with baby sequences, he is blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they just gloss over how at some point he looks more like human, but when we see him as a child, he is always a little blue baby. So like, when did he cease to become blue?
Right.
So what if this is just the form he takes so he can kind of compare to Thor?
Yeah, there's a scene in Thor 1 where he literally, as an adult, turns blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that a little bit.
So like,
oh, you're right. Oh my god, sorry, it's been a while since I've watched Thor.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I think it's perfectly fine for him to be anyone and anything because that's kind of his vibe, right? They even talk about like when he would turn into a snake and bite Thor or whatever that line was.
Right.
Like, that's who he is as a character. He can be anything.
It's true. It's true. They put out some other like Disney put out a bunch of different videos at this point with previews to the show. There's one that I think takes place right at the very opening, and it looks like he's in a desert, and part of me thinks that part of me has ties to the desert. Looks a little bit like the setting for Iron Man 1 when he comes out of the cave. And so I wonder if he's just going to like straight up fight Iron Man in a suit or something at the start of the show. And the TVA is going to show up right after that. I don't know. I really don't know like what is, after seeing what happens in episode 2 that I already referenced, I don't know what to expect from this show. I'm very excited. A lot of the other previews said, I think I read one that was like, if WandaVision was like the mystery show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was kind of like the action-oriented show that also dealt with like race and whatnot. Loki is just the balls-to-the-wall crazy show, the like super fun entertainment show. They said there's not that much action in the first 2 episodes as well. A lot of dialogue. They said that there's a ton of world building that occurs. I think we're also going to see the 3 like lizards that are at the head of the TVA. I think we're actually going to see with them, not just like allusions to them. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty crazy. I'm pretty excited for it. I think we're going to get a little bit of like lore building for what the universe is and what the multiverse is. I think this is their first dip into what the multiverse is. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. I'm always down to see more Loki. I think, especially the idea. There was a lot of conversation about it's the 2011 version of Loki, right? Because he hasn't been in those other adventures yet. So it's the first Avengers Loki, and he very much is of that very much is that person. He talks very much like that. Still, he does not have kind of that like quick wit that he did in like Thor Ragnarok or anything like that. So we'll see.
But it's still there, obviously.
It's still there.
The same character.
Yeah. But it's much more focused, at least potentially at the beginning. I don't know if his character will probably change throughout the show. But it's very much like the 2011 Loki, which is great because I think that might have been like his best performance for it. But we'll see. I don't know what to expect.
I'm also kind of wondering what that means in terms of like from that movie onwards. I feel like he makes more attempts or some attempts to be more relatable to humans, whereas before that I feel like he's kind of more mocking of that, especially towards Thor. Like, why do you care for these primitive earthlings? But it would explain why that attitude shifts if between 2011 and the rest of the films, like even without this, I'm not saying it's not that it didn't make sense, but it makes a special sense why he would maybe even fight to protect them, because it's like this, like, maybe something happens in this show.
Could be. Jesse, I see
I feel like
the brain spinning
it's
on your side. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Lance.
Well, I feel like it's after the 2011 movie where they actually start talking about a struggle between his good side and his bad side, and him trying to move away from like his base nature, which is to do bad things. Like it turns into this thing where it's just like he just can't help it. And I just always assumed it was the swift humbling that the Hulk delivered when he slammed him into the cement like 8 times. But maybe it was whatever the events of this show are going to be. Maybe that's what made him be like, maybe it's not always good to just be my most chaotic self.
True. Yep. Could be.
I don't know that. I guess my original thought was like, I don't know, it's like time travel in the different dimensions. But here's the thing. I don't know that I can safely say anything anymore now that we live in a world where Steve Rogers went back in time, got with Peggy, and then decided to ignore everything for the rest of his life. Like, that is the assumption.
Right.
That Steve Rogers just like lived his life while another Steve Rogers existed. Like, there's a lot going on there that, once that happens, anything's possible. So, like, what do I know?
Yeah.
I'm still hoping we get a Loki v. Loki or a Loki helps Loki. And then the end of Endgame is like, Loki's like, I was on that ship the entire time watching the other Loki beat them.
Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder, like, if the end goal of Loki is to get him back into the MCU proper, right? After like 2 or 3 seasons, if he shows back up in the MCU, or if like Loki is truly done, because it would be really shitty for Thor to like deal with that, right? To like grieve about the loss of his brother finally after Endgame in the next movie, and then for Loki to just pop back up and all that to be forgotten about.
Unless they drop a hint, it's not happening, right? Like you can see, we've explained this before, like with Wanda and with Captain America, you can see how you don't need to watch those shows. In the movies, it still makes sense. In this, this is a new thing where Loki, it's in the film, Loki gets away, we see it, and it's like, oh, that could be hijinks. You know what? I just answered my own damn question. Okay. It's in the film. It's totally in the film. So Loki can show up at any point.
Oh, in the movies?
Because it was in Endgame. Yeah. So technically, there is to the normal audience who isn't like Marvel obsessed, the last time they saw Loki, he didn't die. He took the cube and peaced out. And so in some reality, he's alive. So he can show back up in the movies.
Yeah. God,
the writers wrote themselves a way to make it happen.
I would lose my mind if he showed up in Multiverse of Madness. If he just pops up and Doctor Strange says, like, what the fuck are you doing here? You're dead.
But they already have that relationship. That'd be a perfect time. Yeah. Last time they met, he literally made him fall for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think maybe they're expanding the cadre of characters that can kind of serve as Doctor Strange sidekicks.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I love his current sidekick. That guy's hilarious, and I loved all the memes that arose. Yeah, I know he's absolutely amazing, but I feel like this would be the antithesis to Wong, Wong is like dependable and smart and reliable. Like Loki would be the opposite of that. So it'd almost be interesting to see the 3 of them interact.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jesse?
I just Mordo, right? Who's the other guy?
Mordo is a potential villain in the next movie.
Yeah, he straight up vanished. He was like, "F you, Doctor Strange, you're playing with things you can't understand," and then like left the MCU. So I'm hoping he returns in some fashion.
Well,
we get to see
he will.
At the end of Doctor Strange, he went and took the powers from the guy's name that starts with P, who's in a lot of TV shows that I'm just completely blanking on. Yeah, he straight up murdered
who married Angie Harmon, I think, right? Is that the guy?
Yes, I think so. I think that is, Pangborn. Pangborn. That's his character's name.
Oh, what is the actor? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I forget the actor's name. Very, very well-known actor, though.
Yes.
in the movie. Yeah, he's playing basketball, and Doctor Strange goes to him, and he's the whole reason that he goes to find the Ancient One, etc. But yeah, so he'll definitely be in there as well.
Yeah, I think with Mordo, they're just gonna allow a window of time to pass so that his power up makes sense.
Yeah,
because I think he needs time for him to be a reasonable threat.
But how does I guess my question is, how does he fit?
Ready.
Yeah,
like how does he fit into the Multiverse of Madness story?
I don't know if he does. I
don't think he's going to be in this one.
There was a little bit of Multiverse of Madness news, 2 bits. One of them was that there is official art of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness given as a gift to the cast and crew from, I believe, the director. Somewhat spoiler if you don't want to see who's going to be the character ensemble for the movie, but this is the little comic book cover that they made. Obviously, there's Scarlet Witch, there's Wong. This is American Chavez, who has the ability to open up doors to other realities. So very big character, obviously. And there's Doctor Strange.
Who's that guy at the bottom?
That's Doctor Strange, by the way. And if you didn't know who that was, it's Doctor Strange.
Oh, wow. What a weird character.
Now,
you call him Dr. Weird, right?
Yes. Now, I don't... Right? This one's coming from... I have no idea how reputable this website is, but they are claiming / confirming, again, another potential spoiler if you don't want to hear who the bad guy is in Multiverse of Madness. They are claiming that Shuma Gorath is the bad guy in Multiverse of Madness.
Look, what did I tell you?
Because he wants American Chavez's power of going to other realities.
I want Shuma. Shuma. I've been waiting for this. This is, I said it before, I'll say it again. This is my favorite. I can't wait to see what they do with this character. Frankly,
if it's true, I don't know if it's going to, take it for what's worth.
Think about it. Think about how much fun that would be.
The
bad guy is just tentacles and a big eyeball. And he's like, oh, hey, I want it so badly. Oh my God.
I mean, it's good. At some point, if they're going to continue pushing down the lore, the world of Doctor Strange, they're going to have to get real fucking weird with it. So why not just go full bore and have Shuma Gorath there, a giant eye with tentacles attached to it, right?
I want this.
They kind of opened the door for themselves by having Dormammu.
A little bit, yeah.
So I think they know the audience is they're not gonna expect a humanoid. I think the audience is 100% gonna be accustomed to the idea of it being a giant cosmic entity. My interest is, I don't know. My only thing is this is a heavy bias.
Okay.
So I just want to preface it with that.
All right.
The last time, or when I gave the American Chavez comic a spin, I don't know if the new run is any better. It was so bad.
Really?
So now it's colored my idea of that character. I'm sorry, chat. It was so bad. There was literally a line where she says, "Oh, my ovaries," not joking, and holy menstruation. It was very. It was the very. I'm gonna say it, cringe.
Okay.
And it just read I don't even know how to put it into words.
Sure.
I just don't even know how to put it into words. It was so bad. There's a sentence where she literally says or another character, I think it's Kate Bishop, is looking at her character kicking ass, and she's just wow, did this lesbian just fly out of the sky and scoop up another girl and do this? Oh my gosh, I wish this happened to me in my life. I was who thinks to themselves like that? Who sits here and, and they'll just do that. It'll be hey, America Chavez, I know both of your parents are immigrants and they're from other dimensions, and you have 2 moms. And so I want you to know I understand you.
That sounds
and
like a guy wrote that.
Right. It was just too. I'm so sorry. I know people are gonna be Bronze sounds like one of those people that just hates women. Fam, maybe, but that comic really ruined it for me.
That's
Fam, maybe. Yeah, Rip.
I don't know, because people always say that. They'll just be like, "Oh, you sound like you hate women." So then you just are like, "Okay, apparently I can't say anything bad about that comic." I gave it a try. I read like 7 issues of it, and I was reading it out loud on stream because I was like, "Am I crazy, or is this really poorly written?" Who says, "Oh my ovaries"? No woman has ever.
Let me spin this for you. Let me spin this. Let me spin this another way.
Okay.
The image on the screen.
Oh,
you see this giant, monstrous, tentacled beast, huge eyes staring at Earth. She looks up and she says, "Oh, my ovaries." Now that's a scene. Now we all know where that's going.
No.
That's a scene. That's a scene. There's an entire industry based off that. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is, putting it out there, Marvel. Just saying. Just
There's never a context under which saying "oh my ovaries" is like, "Oh, yay, great line. Let's put that on a t-shirt."
It is a weird line of dialogue, and no matter what, you know what it reminds me of? The way you're reading that is, I don't know if either of you read the script for the new Powerpuff Girls show that got like they were like, rework all of this because it sucks. It feels very much like that. We're like,
I didn't know that.
People who don't know how human beings talk, especially teens, wrote a bunch of lines of dialogue for teens, and it is not cringe. It is so bad and awful that you, honest to God, can't believe they spent hours making a show out of it. You're like, did no one stop them? Did no one say it was a terrible idea? It's the same thing.
Yeah. I gave it an earnest try and was just like, they have to be joking, right? They didn't actually. So now it's like, I'm not saying, oh, the character sucks. And I'm just saying, like, I really hope that the writing this time around is just something a little bit better than what we got in the past.
Yeah.
There's no way we're going to see Multiverse of Madness and someone's going to go, "Oh, my ovaries. Thank goodness for that." And then everyone turns lesbian, and then they look to camera. They're all like, "Right, America?" Ding.
I don't know too much about American Chavez, so I was reading, like, I'm more interested in like how she got her powers. According to the wiki, this is a lot to wrap my brain around. American Chavez was raised by her mothers in the utopian parallel, a reality that is out of time and in the presence of the being known as the demiurge. She appears to have inherited or absorbed some or all of her superpowers from the demiurge's ambient magical presence. When America was approximately 6 years old, not the country, the utopian parallel was threatened by destruction. America's mothers sacrificed themselves to seal the black holes, resulting in their particles being smeared across the multiverse itself. Wanting to prove herself as a hero, and knowing utopia didn't require salvation, America ran away from her home and her responsibilities. She traveled across different realities, eventually adopting the moniker of Miss America and began covertly acting as a superhero. I don't know how you like introduce her. I mean, look, if they're introducing her into the Multiverse of Madness, then 100% they're going to introduce Shuma, right? Like, if you can believe America's storyline, you can believe a giant eyeball with tentacles who just wants to like steal people's powers to become all knowing and all powerful, right?
I don't know anything about this character at all. But the way you describe that, I hope it's done better in the comics, because that sounded like the most nonsensical origin story. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I mean, that's from the wiki.
Ignoring all the personal backstory, you're from a utopian society, and you're like, I need to solve some problems, so I'm going to go to other realities. Like, if you're from a utopia, would you even have that inkling? Because you would never think to yourself, I need to solve problems, because there would be no problems.
Yeah.
But if we look at the changes they made to like Rocket Raccoon's backstory and Groot, then it's not completely implausible that they won't just completely rework the character origins. Absolutely everything from the ground up, which I think they should. Cough, cough.
Yeah.
But okay, here's where my marketing brain kicks in. Do we have confirmation America is in it? Because there are.
Yes, we do. She has been cast and everything. Yes.
So that's the part that's like weird to me, because there's so many other characters that are, I think, like huge that you would think would get introduced first.
Yeah, she's being played by, oh God. I was got a really good, job of picking actresses whose names I can just not pronounce. It's spelled Xochitl.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah! Wow! That
what?
Yes.
Isn't that Sochi? One of my friend's sister's name was that. Yeah, I'm so sorry to the community if I've messed it up.
It doesn't say how to say her name in the wiki.
I'll look this up.
Apparently, she played Dawn Schaefer in season 1 of the Netflix series The Babysitter's Club.
Sochi, yeah, it's literally just so. Even though it's one of those things.
Sochi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sochi Gomez. Yeah,
Sochi Gomez.
It's definitely one of those things that like Quetzalcoatl kind of vibes, where like you look at the word and you're like, "Ooh," and then it's very easy to say. Yeah. It's just for very like white American dudes. You're like, an X.
Yeah.
To start.
It confuses. It confounds.
What is this?
Yeah.
Sochi.
No doubt. Yes, she was cast, confirmed in October of 2020. So,
I must admit, I don't think it made that big of a splash because I don't think, once again, that most people are.
There was other things going on in the world at that time. Yeah,
yeah. Because I don't even remember it. Yeah. But what's interesting is to me is like choosing, I don't know, because now I feel like I sound like a hater, but. It's crazy to me that once the multiverse got introduced, there's so many like wildly successful comics. And I get that we're getting Miss Marvel, but the fact that like we got that before like Miles Morales, like any type of Spider-Verse thing, or even before like Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. I'm just like, it's so weird to me that they went with like this character whose comic has been canceled. Like I think 2 or 3 times. She's on her 3rd reboot, where I'm like, brave choice. Let's see if it pans out, Cotton.
I mean, again, a reminder, the whole thing started with Iron Man, right? When no one gave a fuck about that character. So
can I posit,
based
on what you just said, Bronze, that's a great reason to bring this character is if it's a floundering comic.
Yeah.
And you can, so you can say, oh, this character fits. It also fits into what the Marvel as like a publisher is trying to do as well. And it covers all the bases, like all the check marks you can think of like a character to add. It fits perfectly, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not thinking of like
technically, we already got Robbie. He was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon? I thought they threw that out.
It's not. It's not. Okay. I mean, I think like
so we haven't theoretically gotten Robbie.
He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and his character was like okay. Right. And like he dealt with the Darkhold, but I don't think it's canon.
It's totally not canon, and thank God. I got through 2 episodes and I was like, ow.
I'll say
I know people love it. Love it.
I'll be the one to jump on the sword. The first 2 seasons of that show sucked. It got better every season, and the final season was like very good. The last 2 seasons
I didn't
were
make
very
it
good.
that far. I think I made it like most of the way through season 1, and I was like, I can't do it.
I couldn't. Yeah,
season 1 was bad.
It was. It had the problem. Everything that's on, was it on WB or whatever that channel is
ABC.
now?
It was on ABC.
It was on ABC. Still
ABC on basic Sundays.
Basic TV broadcasting. Not nah.
Yeah,
they had to. They nah. Not good.
It got at a certain point, it kind of just became Buffy, in a lot of ways, or like an Angel series, like Buffy or Angel, towards the end. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was good, dumb fun. They do a lot of time traveling. They eventually just go and become like agents of S.W.O.R.D. and like their space, and yeah.
Feige said that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, etc. are canon, but aren't big enough to talk about in the movie scale. I mean, until it relates to a movie, I don't. That's not canon,
dude.
No matter what he says,
if it's canon, then like those last 2 seasons of the show are just kind of like, why didn't they just call an Avenger? Right?
Yeah,
this is like they're like
there's straight up mutants eventually in that show, right? Like there's literal like
no, there's not mutants. There's Inhumans. Because
right.
Quake is an Inhuman, and like her mom is there, and they deal with like the origins of that. The Kree are like all over that show. There's a shit ton of Kree all over that show. There's a shit ton of different aliens. There's an entire alien race that is just, I think they're just AI or something like that, and they became a main focal point. It's an interesting show. It's an interesting show. It gets real fucking crazy towards the end.
I thought that show was just going to be like, we're agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and we're fighting Hydra and we're doing the things and we're talking about stuff and we're running around in our really cool cars. And then it's like, no, so this AI alien, like
they literally create the Matrix at one point in the show, and like an entire season takes place inside of that. And like they do, it's weird. It gets crazy, man. It gets real insane.
That's a hard oof for me.
Yeah, but it's very good. Like the later seasons in that show are very good. Ghost Rider, which the whole reason that we're talking about this, he's like a primary focus, I think, of like season 5 or season 4 or something like that. Yeah, there's an entire show that's just Agents of Hydra instead of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or entire season, half season, I guess. It's good. It's good stuff. And Ghost Rider is not bad in the show. He actually is like kind of cool. He's not the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider that we all know. And
I mean, we'll all know immediately if they. Well, I guess that we won't. I was about to say if they recast Ghost Rider.
So did they have the lowrider?
What do you mean the bike? His bike?
Oh, like in the comics, he's got a lowrider possessed by a demon.
I don't know if it was possessed by a demon, but he definitely was like a gearhead in the show. He's got like a car and.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Jesse just really likes Lowrider.
I do.
I mean, it's a good song.
Maybe I'm like trying to think of it misremembering because I could have. I feel like in the comic because I liked Robbie Reyes's interactions with Kamala Khan because I think by now chat knows I'm a big Kamala Khan stan. But
what?
Yeah, they had like a cute Valentine's comic where they like interacted, and so I ended up reading a lot of his run. And he has like a lowrider that like shoots flames out of it or something like that. And I was like, this is actually kind of fire.
I didn't know that. Weird.
Yeah, it was actually kind of cool.
Weird. Yeah. So I Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We could spend a whole episode on that. I missed this. Jumping back over into Loki real quick. Everyone's favorite breakfast cereal, Lucky Charms, is doing a sponsored run of Loki Charms.
Loki Charms! I'm so excited.
They even have a little cartoon animation here. I'm not going to play this with audio, but this is just how much money do you think Disney paid for this? Probably a lot, right?
Oh my God, it's so cute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna buy like 12 boxes.
I kind of want to try to find a box.
It's so cute.
I want to let you know. So, having watched that commercial, it is not only very cute, but also my favorite part is like the Loki voice sounds nothing like Loki in any way.
They didn't get Hiddleston to do it?
It literally is just a guy who's like, they're mischievously delicious. And you're like, what the hell is this voice?
Huh.
It doesn't matter. It's very cute.
Yeah.
And then like the box has just Tom Hiddleston on it, which is,
it's great. Good box. It reminds me back in the day when I would go buy Wheaties boxes with like I think like a Jordan or Barkley.
On it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a ton of those. I think I still have those somewhere in like my mom's storage or attic or something, which is just weird to think that I have a box of cereal with an athlete on it that says Wheaties, but here we are,
It's like I would get a tattoo of the Loki from the Loki Charms box. It's such a perfect cross section of like millennial, like 90s nostalgia and comic book nerddom perfectly intercrossed. It's just so good.
Yeah,
I love how the commercial looks kind of classic too in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Heart stars, Hershey's.
What did you just say?
Diamonds and blue moons. something rainbows.
All right, let's just get this out of the way.
Marshmallows,
right?
I don't know.
Let's get this out of the way.
I haven't had Lucky Charms in like 20 years.
Same. It should just be the marshmallows because all the other cereal in there sucks.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
They should just make the marshmallows.
Let's get it out
That's
of the way.
That's like when Captain Crunch had the Crunch Berries, then they started making all berries, and that was, you were like, they nailed it.
If we're gonna do cereal, we gotta talk about what's the best breakfast cereal. Bronze, go.
Oh man, I'm gonna disappoint everybody. I love the Raisin Bran Crunch with 2 scoops of raisins. I know I sound like an old lady.
It's a classic pick.
Jesse? But it has to be the Crunch variety, Raisin Bran Crunch in specific.
Okay.
Can I tell you the most messed up thing of all time? I like a choosy mom. I choose Kix.
Kix for kids?
Do you remember Kix? Here's the thing.
I do.
I'm not a big cereal person, so I haven't eaten cereal in a while.
When I Google that, the song
but I remember Kix. Kix are great.
Why does a rock song come up for that? What the fuck?
Is that what it's called?
Kix for kids. There's apparently a rock band called Kix, K-I-X, that dominates the SEO.
Moms choose.
Yeah, Kix.
No, why does it say Jif?
No, Kix.
Am I mixing up Jif with Kix?
No, Kix is the thing.
No, choosy moms choose Jif. That's because that was peanut butter. Oh, I also like Chex are very good.
They're not bad.
Okay.
I have a definitive answer. Like, it is in my eyes the one and only
Cheerios. Peanut butter Cheerios were always very good.
Those are okay. Not bad.
Honey Nut Cheerios were good.
Not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not I don't usually have a lot of cereals. What's your
definitive strong feelings towards this? The one true breakfast brand is Frosted Mini Wheats. They're the best. You can't.
That's a solid
Mini Wheats.
Yes.
It's a good choice.
That's my number 2.
They're the best.
You
cannot go wrong.
I thought you were going to say Frosted Flakes.
No, Frosted Flakes suck. You have to put in extra sugar with them. They don't put enough sugar in them. That's why you go Frosted Mini Wheats.
Frosted Flakes are ass. Yeah.
Frosted Mini Wheats was just a lot of mini wheat.
I would.
Do you remember when they had the big ones?
Yeah.
You guys remember when the Tonkin wheats?
Yes.
Why don't they make those anymore?
I would literally
you had to
eat those out of the box. I would eat them straight out of the box and not even use syrup or not even use milk.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It was great. It's good stuff.
All I'm getting is that this panel of people has a lot of fiber in their diet. That's all I'm getting out of this.
You got
I think people were expecting us to be like,
you got to,
Oreo O's or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and we're like Raisin Bran, Frosted Mini Wheats, and Kix.
You got it.
Let me tell you the truth. All those cereals that look like cookies or like weird other things that aren't cereal, that's trash tier cereal.
I agree.
That's garbage cereal. You don't want that. You don't want Cookie Crisp. That is garbage cereal. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, as much as I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, they changed the recipe. It's garbage now. They changed the recipe.
They changed the recipe.
Yeah, they tried to make it healthy, and now it tastes like garbage.
Oh, dude, that's another. I used to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch literally out of the box, and it sucked because it was like Cheeto dust, but it was just sugar.
So good. You just be like,
yeah, you just fucking eat it straight out of the box. The crunch, so much.
Being a kid in the 90s was the best.
It's pretty good.
I don't think people understand how many weird things we ate.
Let me just tell you about Dunkaroos.
That's what I'm saying. Like, try to explain to a Gen Z kid Gushers, Squeeze-Its, High C. Oh my God. Like, how do you explain to them we ate congealed corn syrup every day?
Yes,
absolutely.
And somehow we still turned out great.
They're not all
right. I don't.
No.
I don't know how this happened. Fruit roll-ups. Did we eat anything that wasn't a form of corn syrup with flavoring in it?
If you think about how bad fruit roll-ups are for you, it's kind of like, and I think about how many of those I ate as a kid in my lunch. It's actually there's a reason that, I go to a doctor now and they're just like, what the fuck?
Let me just tell you, this is how you know you are in the presence of a 90 kid.
Okay.
This is all I gotta say is, When was the first time you mixed Warheads with Jolt Cola?
Oh boy, that's true.
Every kid did that.
It's true.
Because the Warhead was like, this will blow your mouth up. And Jolt Cola was like, this will make you go crazy. And you were like, and that was an experiment you had to do. And it was terrible every time. But it was like, Jolt. You don't remember Jolt Cola?
I remember Jolt.
Please,
man.
I
Sugar.
Jolt Cola was the pre-energy drink. It was the cola that was developed to be like extra caffeinated, extra sugary, extra
50
like
grams of sugar in a 16-ounce soda. Ooh.
Jolt Cola made some fat kids, let me tell you. As one of them, Jolt Cola defined a generation. That shit was wild. That was not good.
Mentioned Surge, and I was like, oh yeah, Surge and Storm were very popular.
Oh, dude, what Surge? I remember Surge got a bad rap because it had like yellow something or other, and everyone was like, "Oh,
Surge was the drink that made your balls shrink."
It's gonna make your balls shrink. You gotta stop drinking Surge, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real stupid.
But let's be real: if those are still around, those would be the ones advertising Marvel. Just so we're all aware, Jolt Cola would have been like, get the awesome power of Thor with Jolt Cola. Let's be real; we know what it would have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I know people like to think it's like the stuff that millennials are into is kind of passe now, but it's also like coming back into style. I've noticed it. You kids on TikTok sound like such a boomer. Like, but a lot of like stuff that was like very popular and very hype in that era of time where analog met digital is now coming back into like high fashion and just coming back into style. It's like kind of interesting to like notice that, like, because I've noticed the fashion, the frosted tips, and people are now talking about low-rise jeans again. And I'm like, oh, we're bringing back all the stuff that we got clowned for. Essentially, it's now coming back with a vengeance. And I'm like, interesting to see this, like, happening. But I think the same is also true of like, of pop culture.
Mm. Yeah.
That I feel like stuff that we were into that then became like that not as cool is now coming back with the vengeance, because I feel like I'm gonna just say it. I think the edgy's comic vibe is gonna come back in a big way.
Ready for it. Like the counterculture to the happy Marvel Cinematic Universe is like I'm down for it.
It's going to turn a corner. In my opinion, it's going to turn a corner. And I think Marvel's going to be ahead of the turn to do it. I think Marvel's going to be the people that like make sure they're ahead of it and do it first. Especially with like some of the themes they started to explore with WandaVision. I was like, are they starting to like realize like, the popularity of things like, The Boys and stuff like that? Like, do they want to be ahead of that curve and open up options for themselves to explore darker, more nuanced themes? But then I just get very selfish and I'm like, Batman Beyond one day. I know it's not MCU, but maybe Batman Beyond one day. Yes,
I would love that.
I'm into it. I'm there day one.
I would love Batman Beyond. That'd be so cool.
But I mean, like, they announced Blade, right? So like, and now if Shuma Gorath is the villain, I don't know. We could get dark, weird, and freaky with it in this next bend, away from the whole like sort of how bright and bubblegummy like Ragnarok and Guardians was. We could go the other way with it, especially because we were saying, JP, like on episode 3 of this podcast, that like so many of like coming back to the MCU after the events of Endgame, like Thor's story is just straight up depressing. It's very sad.
Yeah.
And there's so many characters in the universe that have just experienced like great loss or great trauma. And how do you navigate that? And WandaVision is the only one that's even began to like open that wound and start the healing process. So like, who's to say we're not going to get like some dark, edgy 90s style, between Mobius and Blade? I think they're testing the waters to see like, are people ready for that like, that what is it called? Circular sort of cyclical. Thank you. Cyclical, like pop culture type of flavor.
Yeah. I'll say this, unless Jesse's got I see the cogs are once again turning, the cogs of cocks.
No, I don't.
Why don't you have a YouTube series called The Cog of Cocks? What the hell, Jesse?
I'm sure that would be the weirdest named show in the history of anything.
I can already picture a brand. It's just a cogwheel with cocks.
That would be the only brand wanting to be associated with a show named that. Yeah. I think you're right on the money. There's potential, but I also seem to recall they said Blade was going to be PG-13.
Yeah,
and there's not a lot of room in the current MCU for dark, because that's not what the universe is.
Moon Knight, and Moon Knight is hyper violent.
But we don't know what version. We know what the comic is.
Yeah,
but we don't know what we're getting. Because, like you said earlier, the MCU can change things. They can change characters on a whim, and they do frequently. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of PG-13 Blade. I think it's a terrible decision. And I really, truly hope at somewhere during production they make a change there. Especially if they're going to be oh, yeah, well, we're still going to have a rated R film, right? They're still going to have, Deadpool rated R. So I don't know why they wouldn't be... I don't know. I think I agree with you. I think it's definitely going to happen on a comic level. I have no clue if the MCU is going to take the chance to go there, but someone should, or they should have that side series. You know what I mean? There's MCU Dark, right? There's something else happening, and it can. Let me just say, I woke up today. And the very first thought in my head as I woke up was, I miss Vincent D'Onofrio. I miss Charlie Cox. I would love it if they brought them back.
Yeah.
And if they want to go MCU Dark, bring those two back. The two of them on screen, that scene where he beats the crap out of Vincent D'Onofrio and he's it's so good. It's so good. The whole thing is amazing. And I want Daredevil back.
That. Fuck it, I'm going to rewatch Daredevil for some reason. I'm going to rewatch
that. That is a fantastic show.
And then I'm going to rewatch Punisher, because I think Punisher was just as good as Daredevil.
I mean, the whole Daredevil Punisher story arc season was it
was incredible.
So it was
amazing.
Good. Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably the only show that I feel was able to recover from seasons that were less than stellar. And I am
absolutely,
to preface, I am very biased because I am quite good friends with Deborah Ann Wall, the actress who plays Karen Page. Right. So if she were to get her job back, I would be yes, hire her. She's amazing. Don't recast Karen Page. Bring back the entire original
cast. You also know Jesse Cox,
brilliant.
Which is close to Charlie Cox, which is really almost the same.
It's true.
No, I'm almost the same person.
I'm right there with you.
Almost the exact same.
Guys, I need
talent and looks.
We need to
They're
move
all
forward.
Brilliant.
But I agree, they are great. But we need to move forward.
I think
that. Preface this. But go ahead.
I think that idea of bringing back Daredevil, all those things that were in the Netflix universe, having those characters, you can have a MCU Dark if Punisher is in it, and there's no reason to recast Punisher. That was great casting.
He was perfect.
Never recast Punisher. Never.
Yeah.
But also, how the heck are we going to have Zemo without Punisher?
I would love.
We gotta have that. We gotta have that. He's the antidote to the virus that is the Zemo, man. There is just a run, I think, was a year and a half ago of the Punisher where he faces off against Zemo, and that's it's this crazy thing where he's Zemo's trying to or he basically imprisons Punisher, and the Punisher breaks out and he has an entire country against him. It's so good, but I'm just after seeing the Zemo that we got, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm bring back Bernthal. I need to see these two. Just go at it.
Yeah, and the way they've created Zemo in the MCU is he's a different kind of character. So to have the Punisher be just personality wise, he's a little goofy.
Yeah.
He's a little kind of a goofball. And I think having a no nonsense Punisher be his foil would be effing ridiculous. I would love to see him be I can't figure out how to beat this guy. And Punisher's just murdering goons. There has to be a dark version of the MCU. And I think they have the gateway. It's all there. They can just open the doors and be let's do this.
It's a pretty big tone shift though. I think there's Like there's the darker MCU, and then there's like the Punisher, which is just like a giant 180-degree fucking tone shift, which I'm
sometimes
for.
You need that stuff. Yeah, sometimes
like,
you need that.
I don't know how you get a John Barenthal Punisher on screen with like Captain Marvel. Like what the
well, I don't
fuck
think you do.
That
I
conversation?
I think that is like that's the side story. That's like
maybe
throw him in scenes with like Ghost Rider, and throw him in scenes with that kind of thing, and then the characters that are crossover. So I don't know if y'all like watch the Star Wars Expanded Universe at all. Sometimes it's infuriating because like it's a giant galaxy and yet the same characters keep showing up in every season of everything. You're like, why are those the people they meet this season? Aren't there other smugglers? Like, no. Same characters from like 6 shows ago are back. And you're like, okay. But I think in this world, because it's just Earth, the crossover isn't main characters. The crossover is like in the MCU Dark, you have sort of Vincent D'Onofrio as the villain there, but then like he's also messing with Spider-Man in the MCU. Like that's the crossover. So it's easier to sort of like separate the worlds, but have like, there's the one guy who's like, I'm definitely the kingpin of New York, like that kind of thing. And so everyone can, I think there's a lot there, but it's also about the will of Disney to be like, yes, we're going to get dark. However, sometimes you find out Disney produces movies that are dark as shit. So
that's true.
I don't know.
It's true. I don't know if we went over this image that I'm about to show you last week, but I think it's worth just looking at again, regardless. That's a hell of a shot, a photo. That's a shoto is a shot and photo combined into one.
Right, a shoto.
Yeah, shoto.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, shoto is something else. So there's this shot. I'm zoomed in a lot. This is Taika as Love and Thunder, I think, is finished filming. And then across from Taika...
What a beautiful looking rock man.
Across from Taika is this guy fucking yoked out of his goddamn mind. What the fuck did they feed him?
So here's this image. I think
what the fuck?
This image I think is an optical illusion because a lot of people are talking about like how crazy huge his arms are. His arms are big,
it's fucking
like,
huge.
Down at the bottom,
his legs are tiny.
Near his wrist, there's like a Popeye thing going on there, but really it's just the background. Like it's all
like, the background's melding into or blending in with his skin, so it's making it look like his wrist is the same diameter as his arm.
Yeah.
So there could
like
be some
weird to look at
bulk being added on.
I don't know, man.
I see what you're saying. Because if you look at his hand, it kind of seems like he doesn't have a wrist.
Yeah.
But he does, I mean, it's just he's
it does
ripped.
Look like a claw there on the other wrist. You're right. But he's also I've never like in all the Thor movies, he's never been this fucking jacked out of his mind, has he? Am I misremembering?
Well, I think that's the point. Is like it's
he's back.
It's like Always Sunny in Philadelphia where there was Fat Mac and then he came back and he was like even more ripped than before. I think that's supposed to be the point, right? And so I mean, dude is jacked. Great.
Yeah. His legs also look very, very tiny in the shot, which I think is hilarious, but like he only worked out his upper body. But still.
This
I think this shot right here makes me very excited for Love and Thunder because we're gonna get like he's gonna be fucking crazy Thor, yoked out of his mind, ripping apart Gore, right? He's got to be. I'm excited for it just from this silly photo here that they released. Also, what is that Yggdrasil? Yggdrasil on his shirt?
Oh.
Is that what that is? Is that supposed to be the World Tree?
I mean, it looks like their version of the World Tree, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, who is Taika playing here?
The dude, the rock guy, Korg or whatever his name is.
Is that supposed to be Korg?
You can see the rock design on
floating.
his.
Yeah. Like if you
right.
if you look at the wider crop, yeah.
Wait, did he always play Korg in this like fashion in this getup, or is this like a new outfit?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a little different.
I mean, I no matter what, whenever they had it, they had to have like if you ever see Josh Brolin as Thanos, it's him. And then there's a giant head, like a foot and a half above him. So all the actors have to look at the head when they talk to Josh Brolin. I imagine it's the same thing here.
Yeah. Maybe so. Well, that's a shot. That looks crazy. I'm kind of surprised that we in a lot of ways I feel like we know nothing about this movie, even though we still know some things. So I'm curious like what that trailer looks like, right? Like what the theme of if they just like start that trailer and make it seem like super depressing, if they go with like the comedic depressing route that they did in like Endgame, if they just flat out start with like a training montage trailer where he's just like ripped from the get-go so they don't have to explain that necessarily going in, or if it's just like gore murdering people.
But who is the focus of this movie?
I don't know. Thor, I would guess.
I thought it was supposed to be the other Thor.
Yeah, I mean, Natalie Portman is definitely playing Thor in this movie. So maybe
I thought Natalie
Hammer.
Portman was supposed to be the main character.
I don't know. We've only seen one shot of her like buff as shit. So we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see. I think this image is hilarious looking though, because he's just ripped out of his goddamn mind, dehydrated to shit for whatever this action shot was. Just
right.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculous. That was crazy.
For some reason, this reminded me because I had to like look it up and remember their name because I forgot it. But did you see that the director of cinema or the cinematographer for Logan was tapped for Multiverse of Madness?
No, that's exciting. I did not know that.
Yeah, so the writer on Doctor Strange 2 released like a press statement basically saying it's going to be like visually distinct from anything we've ever seen in the MCU before. And they had this really great power shot of Doctor Strange standing in front of that window in his like sanctum.
Yeah.
But they're basically saying cuz Logan's lighting was pretty fire.
The black and white version of Logan is incredible. If you've never seen that, it's a remarkable watch. So that's very exciting to hear. I did not know that. There was a little bit of other casting news. Hollywood Reporter, this was back in May, and I just had missed it in the middle of May. For Secret Invasion, which is a upcoming Disney Plus series, focusing, of course, on the Skrulls, which was a great comic book run, and a lot of craziness could actually occur in here. Jesse will enjoy this because Kyle Bradstreet, who is known for Mr. Robot, is a writer and executive producer, will be writing and executive producing the series itself. So that's very exciting because Mr. Robot is phenomenal, and anyone attached to that show is great at what they do. So the fact that he's attached to what could be a very, very big event in the MCU, because it was in the comics, is cool. It's great. There's also 2 directors tied to that. Thomas Bachuza, who helmed last year's crime drama thriller Let Him Go, which I did not see. I don't know if you guys saw that or if anyone in chat saw that. And Ali Salim, who worked on Hulu's 911 drama The Looming Tower, have been tapped to direct Marvel Studios' latest series, Secret Invasion. I have not seen either of those, and I'm not familiar with either of those directors. But yeah, that's a thing. Back in middle of May, which I missed. And that's kind of it in terms of like the proper. Oh, there were also some new photos from the set of She-Hulk, as that's been started filming now. And I guess we're getting more scientist Hulk because Ruffalo's in like full-on mocap garb. So
great.
I get
weird with it.
It's weird, yeah, but I if I see like the Hulk walking around in a suit in like a courtroom or some shit with his cousin, like what?
You're on her. Smash.
Yeah, and yeah. Like what the fuck?
In summation, smash.
Like,
He makes a good point.
It's just a little strange. It's a little strange. This image right here is pretty cool from the from the set. Let me pull it up. Just the back of the chairs here. You can see a little bit of the shot. Little production porn going on there. I don't know who this character is either. Maybe you guys can, or if chat knows who this actress is. Any ideas on who this could be?
Maybe for Hellcat, or what's the person's name when they're not in someone in chat will know. What's Hellcat's other name?
Someone in chat said Tigra. I don't think, is that accurate?
This is for She-Hulk?
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't know this. That she was in Hamilton.
Yeah, Patsy Walker. It's like She-Hulk's best friend.
Oh, that's who she is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a redhead, so I'm assuming it's Hellcat. Because Hellcat usually has like long red hair.
Okay.
But I just couldn't remember the real name. It was Patsy Walker. I'm assuming that's who that is because the hair matches.
I'm trying to see. Her role is Amelia, according to
Amelia is the role. She's in one episode. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, never mind.
Just a fancy shot then. Just a fancy shot. That actress slash singer was in the original recording of Think Hamilton, which very good. She's one of the Schuyler sisters, I believe.
She is.
Yeah. And then of course there's the mocap of old Marky Mark in his big old. I like that they gave him a purple suit. I don't know if that's because that's the color that needs to be, or if it's just because it's the Hulk, but I like it. I'm into the fact that it's purple. It's really silly. So that's that. And then
mocap is so goofy. It's so goofy.
It is. It's always weird watching the like behind the scenes videos when it comes to, I guess specifically video games, the ones that I've seen, but where they're like acting in a super serious scene and like literally crying because it's so emotional, and then they have to like step away and T-pose at the end.
Like that Resident Evil 8 footage we saw on Twitter.
Yes. Yeah. It's absurd.
Acting seems like it's really tough. I mean, there was that scene of Ian McKellen in the extended makings of Lord of the Rings or not Lord of the Rings, I think it was The Hobbit, where he finally broke, where he said that he was like, if this is what acting is, I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh,
he was on set alone for the entirety of it. And so then the rest of the cast felt really bad and they sent him gifts and tried to surprise him in his trailer. Because he shot the entire thing looking at a tennis ball on a stick.
Yeah. Because it was.
And
all
I was
CG.
like, oh my god! Like acting is something that can't give you anything back. It's just that it's like probably so exhausting.
Yeah.
So like every day that I'm with you two on here, just nothing. I'm getting nothing.
Whoa! Out of nowhere, the shots are flying out of cock.
Just like it's like I'm acting with balls.
It's crazy.
2 balls. It's like I got two balls right in front of me. I got 2 balls and I'm just acting with them.
Obviously.
Terrible.
Obviously. That's accurate. We could talk a little bit more about that Avengers Campus because that's apparently a thing now that you can go and visit. People have shown some different things from that. There's I think I saw a GIF of people seeing Spider-Man flying through the sky without like any harnesses or anything.
So
they built that animatronic thing, but
let me just tell you, every person I've talked to who's gone is like, wait.
What? Really? It's not like, that. Wait, there's nothing yet.
No. I mean, there's nothing. It's that there's so many people.
Oh God.
That is literally. So one of my friends went, and not only are there COVID rules still, but also. They had you have to have appointments to get in, but then it took an additional 3 hours to get in. So based on their appointment, they pre-ordered lunch in that part of the park because you have to order things online. So they pre-ordered lunch to go in. It took them another 3 hours to get in. By the time they got to where their food was, they canceled their order because they didn't come to pick it up. So then, they're like, thankfully the cast like worked with us, and by cast I mean like Disney employees, but like, you know, they work with us to like get our food and like, but it was a giant pain. And then a lot of it was, so there's one area that literally is like a mini sanctum place where there's like a Doctor Strange show, right? and you have to walk in there to watch it. And it's like a Doctor Strange magic show, which I think is actually really neat. And he does like, magic and cool things and levitation and stuff. But there's so many people trying to get in that rather than it be like a fun, intimate, like we're watching Doctor Strange do magic, it's like 80 people crammed into a room watching Doctor. It was like 90 degrees and no one was really having any fun. But we got to see Spider-Man swing. The Spider-Man swing thing is Peter Parker comes out, does like a stage show of like acrobatics, and then swings away. And then and the cool part is at the end, he like comes down on a rope, and then you can take photos with him, which is super neat. Like he does the upside down like drop.
Oh, and
so it's very like
in the video that I saw, he's on like the rooftop, right, of the Avenger thing. Building or whatever, and he like does some tumbling acts, and I think that was a real person, and then he like goes into a door, and like 5 seconds later you just see someone like launch up into the sky and fly around and do like a flip or something. I think that's that's the robot or something like that,
right? And then after he does that, the real person who disappeared comes down on the other side of the platform, which I think is actually really neat. Or maybe honestly it's probably a different person. They probably have one actor who's like the acrobatics guy, and then one actor at the end who comes down upside down on the rope, and then he unhooks and he like takes photos with people.
That's cool.
And they have a lot of that. It's neat. It's super interesting. The food area I think is probably one of the things that like everyone's gonna go take photos of because it's the Pym particle giant food.
Yeah,
so it's like spaghetti and one giant meatball. Or there's a panini
test kitchen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a panini that's like enough for like a whole family. It's huge.
Okay, I want that.
Yeah, this all sounds real dumb and great and awesome and cool.
Yeah. It sounds like super dumb. They're like the area is very dumb and fun and silly. The major areas is there's Web, which is like the Spider-Man area, and around there are little hints as to what the ride is, right? So there's like these little spider robots that are all webbed up and gooped everywhere. And then there's I
think this is the web area kitchen. Right here.
Yeah. Then there's the test kitchen. And the test kitchen is and you can see in the background places for photos. See how like the walls are all painted up?
Yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, everyone want to take photos with his walls. So it's you and like 85 other people trying to take the same photo. And like it was a shit show. So they're like, this place is awesome. This place is really cool. They're like, it's better than the Star Wars land. The Star Wars land sucks compared to this. This is like super interactive. Everything's fine. It's like neat and cool. However, so many people are there right now. They're like, wait until you don't have to, like it's a mess right now. So, there's shawarma.
Yeah, the shawarma palace.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
I bet you
I am so excited to go in 4 months. I'm so excited to go in 4 months. My local Hito City is probably like Trader, but I gotta try the Disneyland shawarma.
I mean, from what I saw, there's actually I don't remember. I think it's called like Everyday Adventures or Ordinary Adventures. There's this YouTube couple that I used to follow that did all the Star Wars stuff, and so they literally did everything, ate everything, and there's like 2 big old nerds, and they. I think I haven't watched it yet, but they got to do all this, and I know one of their videos is like, we ate everything in the new park.
Oh, nice.
So they have a video of every type of food. So like, I got to watch that video. I got to see what this stuff looks like.
Yeah.
Because, it's like Disney, right? It's like, it's all right, but it's going to be like really expensive.
Yeah. Here's some behind the scenes of the robots, which I think is pretty, it's kind of like, it's a weird thing to watch, the fact that these are like robots doing this.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
When you see the real footage, it like the way he moves is not like that. It's like it looks like Spider-Man.
Yeah, these are pretty early on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have a viewer in chat who says that he's going tomorrow. And so I said,
awesome.
Send us a review and we'll talk about it next week for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was definitely be aware that the lines are wild. So like wherever you're going, get there early.
Imagine, dude. It's yeah.
I definitely want to wait for like 4 months and then buy all the merch. That's really, I just want to shop, honestly. I feel like they're going to have really cool stuff.
I just want to know if they have a life-size Iron Man, because I passed on a life-size Iron Man about a year ago, and now I think I need one. Now I think I've wrapped my head around it, and I'm down to drop way too much money on a stupid life-size Iron Man.
I'm looking. It looks like BuzzFeed also did a thing that is all the different foods there.
Oh, really?
Do you have a link? So they have photos of the shawarma. Yeah, they have.
Toss me a
link. Have everything there. It looks incredibly like, where it's like
unseasoned.
That clearly isn't. It looks like the most like. How do you convince every average Joe American to eat food? That version of it. It's like when Chinese restaurants had to create General Tso's chicken. Right? They were just like, yeah, how do we get white dudes to eat Chinese food? They're like, let's just make a thing up. That's the same thing. Right? It's like, it's shawarma, kinda.
So do they have like video? Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah, they have pictures of all the food.
This is New York's tastiest and the Impossible Victory falafel.
I mean, it's technically falafel. It's like, all right, but it's very brown and like, it's like
$13 each.
I saw the reviews. People were like, it's good. The sauce, here's the thing. The sauces are on the side for all of it. So you like dip it.
Crystal tried the New York's tastiest chicken shawarma wrap, which include garlic spread, the side coconut yogurt, tahini sauce with pickled vegetables.
So far everyone's like, it's pretty good. So I don't know. I haven't eaten it yet. So what?
Yeah. Oh, I want to see
that. The Pim Test Kitchen is what I want to see. Yeah, this is neat.
Oh my God, that looks so. See, just the fact that it's themed like this, I'm like into it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's really fun. That's a really fun concept.
At the chicken sandwich. The chicken sandwich is my absolute favorite thing.
That's so cool. If I did that, it's stupid. Where's the chicken sandwich? Oh, that's the drink.
That's the pretzel.
Oh, that's a pretzel.
Ooh. Okay, I'm sorry. I love pretzels, and that looks fun.
I don't know about a pretzel with like vegetables and like what is. I don't know about that. What is that?
Looks like what is that? A quiche, maybe?
A panini.
Panini
on toasted.
Yeah.
Salami roast.
That's the panini. The panini. That right there. That's not the whole thing. The whole thing is like a long ass. It's like a giant whole panini cut into like 6 pieces.
That looks pretty.
That's
good.
One piece of the giant panini.
Also,
it's massive.
Can I just say this is why Disney is also great, but ridiculously stupid. They have like parchment, like butcher paper that's Pim themed. Like what the fuck?
Yeah,
well,
Scott
it's
Lang.
got Scott L. Yeah, Scott Lang on there.
That's so stupid.
That's amazing.
Secret recipe.
Like
that's
I would be upset. Like, don't put fucking food on that. I want to take that home, right? But that's
so the next one. They grew the chicken, but not the bun. Love it.
Love
it. That's adorable.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I love that.
That's a lot.
That looks better than the shawarma place.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What is that?
This is like the PB&J with the bacon and the
Yeah.
There's the giant ass pretzel. I want that giant ass pretzel.
I love a fucking pretzel. I would eat the shit out of a fucking pretzel. Caesar salad, colossal crouton. There's the spaghetti.
There's the
giant.
Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
I think like I think the hardest thing here is realizing that all these dishes, they have to test them so that every single person who visits the park can enjoy them.
Yeah.
Which I think negates some of the like color and the like a lot of times the weirder it looks, the more people are like, I don't know. So yeah,
you also have to make sure it has like fewer components so they can push it out faster and so that you have less worries about allergies. So it really limits on what you can do cuisine wise, which is I think why they have the Food and Wine Festival at California Adventures, probably so they can get around some of that. Because they had stuff like ghost pepper mac and cheese, and they actually had some good food there. But like they don't have that year round because I think
if you want the hot tip,
they have to,
if you want the hot tip about Disney, this is the real truth. This is what the locals are going to tell you. Around Christmas time, around the holiday season, go to Disney. I'm telling you,
it's best
they got
time.
those little booths set up. You just walk around like, I'll have this alcohol thing, and I'll have like a little tiny snack. Oh my god, that's the time to go.
It's the best time, but it's also the worst time because it's so unbelievably busy when they go into the Christmas season. I was there. I was at least in Florida on Thanksgiving, like literally on Thanksgiving Day. And every staff member that we talked to said that
that's a mistake.
Thanksgiving Day is the busiest day of the year for Disney. And we had no idea. It was insane. Like it.
Yeah, you would think going on Thanksgiving it would be quieter because, Thanksgiving, I wouldn't think it's the busiest.
It was insane.
It
was shoulder to shoulder people walking down the like main Disney park street with like the fucking castle in the background. Shoulder to shoulder. It took us like 30 minutes just to get down that street. It's insane.
But if I had to assume, Thanksgiving is all about Americana, right? It's about this like story we tell each other about Americana.
Yeah.
And like Disney is the exact same thing. So in my mind, like, yeah, we're going to go to the most like fake American place in the world to go like walk down the fake ass main street and like go eat at a restaurant that's a little too expensive that serves fake ass American food. We're all going to be like,
we went to, God damn it. We went to a character buffet in the animal kingdom in, I think, Africa.
This was in Florida. This was this was the world.
Yeah.
I remember going there when I was like 12 and I still remember that. Like, that's a great experience.
We had
for a kid.
It was a character dinner buffet. So like Donald Duck was there, Goofy was there, Mickey was there. Donald Duck was like an asshole who kept hitting on Aaron the entire time we were eating. And then they did like a conga line thing. And like Donald came over and like grabbed Aaron and she was at the front of the line right behind Donald. I was just giving
Donald
him the stink
was trying
the entire time. Oh, 100%.
Trying to swoop up your woman.
100%.
JP,
100%.
You know that duck don't wear pants, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Just put it out there.
Then Goofy was there, and Goofy came over and like consoled me as she took, or as Donald Duck like took, like the character or the actors behind the characters are 10 out of 10, like just so fucking good. There, it was a lot of fun. That happened
to me with Slimer at Halloween Horror Nights, which I'm very invested in Halloween Horror Nights, and I went to the Ghostbusters haunted house at Universal Studios. And the Slimer did his jump scare and then moved on and then was like, wait. And like, it was like a puppet and came back and was like, just like flirting with me in the middle of the haunted house. And I was like, wait, aren't you supposed to like do your scare and move on? He was like, but he like literally floated away and he was like, wait, hold up.
Yeah. Yeah. They're really good at picking up on people that will be like, that will go along with the goof in a lot of ways.
Sure.
That was 100% who Aaron was. And it sounds like that's 100% who you were.
I assume it's gone now, but the last time I was at Disney World years and years and years ago, they had a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing, right? And in it, they had like, you could be like you were in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and they had a giant bee that you could ride. And they picked me to ride that bee. I was like the happiest 12-year-old that ever lived. There's a video of me like my parents have her. I'm like, yeah, like losing my mind. And it's like, oh, that's the kind, I'm telling you, look, you become a jaded adult and you're like, oh, life sucks. But like for a kid, those are some good ass experiences. That's all I'm saying. That's the place to be.
Yeah. I hope the Imagineer that came up with the Teeny Pamini got a raise because that's pretty good.
I hate that. I hate. Oh, see, this is the real thing.
Here's the regulator.
Tequila,
lime juice, habanero, mango syrup, wheat ale garnished with mango flavored popping pearls. I bet you that's fucking really good. Oh, look at that. The Experiment, the Molecular Meltdown, the Honey Buzz, and the Particle Fizz. That's all great.
I need you to know, even though California Adventure doesn't have as many rides and things to do as, the Magic Kingdom, it is a good time to drink there. California Adventure is like
aquarium bar. There's only one place in California Adventure that serves alcohol, and it's right there in like the aquarium.
Everything in California Adventure serves alcohol now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
We always used to have to go to that one like aquarium themed thing, and that was the only place that would serve drinks.
So that place was originally like, it was like a Ariel's Grotto or something like that. Now it's called like the Pixar something, and so it's all Pixar themed, and they have like artwork from all the Pixar movies there. Same thing, but like they've changed everything about it, and it's like I want that. I want that raspberry cheesecake mousse.
Yeah, the cosmic cream orb.
I want to have booze. I want to have alcohol and a purple mouth, and just be like, "Welcome to this day."
That all looked very good.
And then go on the Cars ride and be like, "Come out, it's me, Mater. Let's go!" And then you like race. The Cars ride is great. The line is too long, but the Cars ride is great. I love that ride. Oh, or go on Soarin', the one where you fake fly. Oh,
yeah,
California
the smells and stuff. Okay, yeah, that one's fun. Yeah, I have never been on the Cars ride because I have never seen Cars.
You don't. So it doesn't matter. I
don't think I would get anything out of it.
So the Cars ride is not even about cars. It's literally like
it's just
you
fast.
Race another car. So like you get in a car and then they're like, "Hey, come on!" There's like a little intro scene, and then the actual ride is like another one of the riders, like another one of the groups of riders, pulls up alongside you, and then it's like, "We're gonna have a race," and then you race the other car, and that's like super fun and silly and like it's neat.
It's good times.
You know what ride I think is totally underrated at California Adventure? Goofy's Flight School.
Are you the only adult? Are you the only adult on Goofy's Flight School?
Yeah. I think it's so funny that Goofy believes in himself that he can teach you how to fly.
Well, Goofy can do anything Goofy wants to.
I know, and it gives me faith, you know? And you're just like, "Oh, Goofy, you crazy motherfucker, you're going to kill us." And it just makes me feel very warm in my heart.
Let's be very clear. At some point, Goofy had a kid, which means Goofy got some. Like, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
He's a hot pilot. All the bitches want to hook up with Goofy.
Yeah, anything is possible.
What has Goofy done at this point? He's great with children. He's been a photographer. He's been a pilot. He has the pet dog. You know? Everybody loves him. Look at how many friends he has. He's more popular than me. Goofy can pull mad chicks.
Yeah.
Look at Goofy. And like if you can make her laugh.
And he's a dog.
You're in.
Like technically he's just he's a dog. Like he's a literal dog.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. Anything is possible.
Like, most women are like, I give up men. I'm going to just buy a dog instead. Guess what? With Goofy, you get both. And then they're like, you're right. And that's how we got Mac.
There you go.
I rest my case. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk how it went.
Yeah.
Slays Mad Poon. Thank you.
Jesus.
This has been my TED Talk.
This has been the MCU Crew.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I do want to go to the after seeing those photos. I think that place looks very fun. Looks very Disney.
Apparently, one of the things that is happening is they're going to make them around the world. So there's supposed to be like Avengers campuses around the world, and they're all supposed to be different.
I hate that they're different. God damn it! Now I have to go to all of them.
So the one in California is like Spider-Man themed, and like there's every single one's gonna have like a different theme to it.
Well, I guess we got to get a travel show started with the three of us.
So. I think that's. So
we're gonna go right to the Avengers Campus. We have
to. Right?
I mean, come on down. Let's get crazy. Also, I just want to see the two of you on the Tower of Terror thing, just because that's how I judge. That's how I judge a person's soul. Like in a Dark Knight when he's like, "You never truly know your friends." Like that's how I'm gonna judge y'all. He's like, in line.
Am I not allowed to be scared?
Oh no, you're allowed to be scared, but like. When you're in the moment, are you like, or are you like laughing?
I'm laughing
because you fear no death. At that point, you're just like,
Jesse,
that's me.
I
laughed my ass off on that ride because I'm like, I could be dead at any moment. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have quite possibly one of my favorite stories about Day 9 when we went to that ride when it was still the Tower of Terror together.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting in front of me and I was behind, in like the row behind. And as we're going up, Sean the entire time is just going like, I don't want to fucking do this. Like I want to get off. I'm terrified. This is awful. This is so bad.
It's scary.
And I'm like, I start cracking up, right? Like I haven't hit like full cackling yet, but I'm like cracking up at how fucking, and Sean's like, this is the fucking worst. I fucking hate this. I fucking hate this so fucking much. And like then they start talking to you in the Tower of Terror. They would like, talk or whatever. Yeah. And you get to the very top and like, the thing swings open and Sean just goes, this fucking sucks. And we drop, and I've never heard Sean scream. It's such a pitch before where like glass probably would have broken. And he's just screaming like, "Get me off this fucking ride! Get me off this fucking ride! I'm so fucking done. I'm dying. I'm just losing my shit."
There are only two types of riders.
I'm convinced to me.
If you go watch videos of people on that ride, there are only two types: the people who are screaming bloody like murder because they're losing their minds, or people laughing.
Yeah,
there's no in between.
Laugher. I'm the laugher.
Yeah, I'm a laugher. You're either like so aware of how like dangerous it is, but like, thank God for seatbelts. You're just like laughing about it.
I'm definitely a screamer, especially because the first time I went, I'd never been on the Tower of Terror because I didn't live here in this country for a while. But then like I only went on the Escape from the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, and I'm gonna be completely honest. Probably nobody's gonna believe this, but I didn't realize you just drop straight up and down.
Yeah, that's all.
I did not have any concept of like what the ride was.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be kind of like, because I just gotten done at like a Universal Studios, so I thought it was going to be like a Transformers-esque like VR type of experience where you escape, right? So as soon as we get all the way to the top and the doors open, I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. And then the first time we dropped, it was just bloody murder all the way down. And then we started going up again. And I was like, how many times does it drop? I think it was my actual thing where I was like, I think I survived the first drop.
Dude,
because I felt so jebaited when we started going up again. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, they do it multiple times.
I survived the drop.
They do it multiple times. I'll say this. I think the Tower of Terror is like fine for that. However, one of the best, arguably the best amusement ride I've ever been on is in Universal in Florida. At the Transformers ride, where you're
that's a very good ride.
Yeah, you're like I think you're in Bumblebee or something like that, and he's like a car. But there's a couple. We went on there, and I remember sitting next to Aaron, and Aaron fucking hated it because of how realistic it was. There's one point where you're like hanging off the side of a skyscraper. And it starts to fall, and it feels like you're free falling. And then at the last second, like, I don't know, Optimus Prime or someone like grabs the back of your car and like pulls you up from like smashing into the ground. They like nailed everything about that. There's like air blowing at you when
hot air.
Yeah, when Megatron shows up, there's like fucking flame, like actual flames in front of you. It's crazy.
So I know
it was. So
I know it's gonna sound crazy, but like the Simpsons ride takes that technology. And like
Simpsons ride.
And there's a Simpsons ride. I think it's where Back to the Future used to be.
Because I don't remember that in Florida. There might be a California only thing.
Let me verify this. God.
Because we had like the VIP. We bought the VIP thing and went to every single ride.
Yeah, it's so the Simpsons ride has this like weird
maybe
like
we did ride that.
So it's the one where like you go to Krusty Land and then Sideshow Bob like tries to kill you on the ride, but like the way they've set up the the hydraulic system, the Simpsons rides in Florida, whatever. There's like a hydraulic system set up with it that is like twice as crazy as the one for Transformers, and everyone who's riding it is like, it's wild, dude. So. Keep an eye out for that one.
Huh. Yeah, I don't remember doing that one. I went on the Mummy ride, which was very good.
I love the Mummy ride.
Yeah, the end of the Mummy ride, like you think it's over, and then all of a sudden, like the conductor or whatever gets like their heart torn out or something, and the mummy shows up, and then you drop into just like a giant pit of fire, and it feels like fire. That was terrifying.
I don't think I've been on that one. I've only been on the.
It might be
one
different.
The Mummy ride's backwards. The Jurassic World ride is fun. I think that one's. Here's the thing: most of the Universal ones are like
Florida.
Yeah, most of the Universal ones are like you ride a movie, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like it's you like sit in a thing and nothing really moves, but like it does. Those are neat.
Yeah.
Because the Mummy one in California, you go through like this really cool ride on rails, and it's like really fast, and then you hit a wall and you shoot through it backwards, and it's crazy. Because there's not a lot of rides where you shoot backwards at Mach speed. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I have a question for the two of you, just really quickly before we wrap all this up. When you ride on a ride and it suddenly becomes dark, how do you handle that? Like, so a great example is at the very beginning, kind of the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean, for example. There's a pitch black drop, and that's how you like get down to the Pirates of the Caribbean area. And a lot of different, rides have it suddenly goes pitch black. Indiana Jones has one of those moments, and like there's let me just reenact what happens to me. For some reason, I always think I'm going to be decapitated. I don't know why. It's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Do you duck?
So I go like, this is how I ride the ride for the entire, like, this is me. This is how I ride. Like, it always happens. It's like self-preservation. Instant. If I'm on, whatever that damn ride is where it's like Space Mountain, where it's like almost all dark, I will start the ride like, and I'll leave the ride like this. And it's obviously it's intended to not get your damn head cut off. But for some reason, I'm like, this could be the time. And my body immediately reacts to all. And it's just like, yep! I like scrunch up like a turtle. And I'm just ready. It's every time. And it's not like I want to do it. It just happens every time. And I'm just like,
I probably shouldn't tell you this story because it's only going to make it worse. I have that same fear, but I think it's because I'm a little taller than you. And also when I was, 24, 25, I was at my first ever.
My head cut off.
I was at my first ever esports event, to which I had to fly to. And I was in Louisville, Kentucky. And there's I think it's a Six Flags that was right across the street from the hotel/venue where the event was taking place for the World Series of Video Games. The event started on a Friday. I think it was Thursday, or maybe it was Friday. There's a ride there that had one of those roller coasters where your legs hang. Someone passed underneath the roller coaster when the roller coaster goes over the open crowd. They decapitated one of the park goers and shattered the person's legs. And I think they had to be amputated because of this.
Oh my God.
It was the national news story. I remember going to it. And now whenever I like go on rides, that's the first thing that comes to my mind every single time.
Here's the thing, like I was once at a Six Flags years ago where two girls on a ride, like a cable snapped and it like chopped off their legs.
I heard that one as well. Yeah. There's a lot of fucked up rides, man. There's a lot of fucked up rides.
That doesn't scare me because that's like,
yeah,
that's like freak accident things. Like, I don't like that. It's not a scare thing. My body just naturally responds to darkness by being like, all right, let's curl up. Like, that's my natural reaction. It's like, I don't do it. It just, and then when it's over, I'm like, that was
putting
great.
My hands up. I don't like putting my hands up for that reason. Cause I'm like, I don't know, like maybe they didn't measure the clearance, but this is like, so I'll go on normal rides, but the ones where I really have a disconnect is like water slides and water parks, because there are plenty of cases where they did not like, cause they eyeball it. They're just like, oh, the two of you, that should be fine.
Oh yeah,
on a floaty device.
Oh,
but then it's like, it's too much weight. And if you are going down a water slide with too much weight, you get air. And it has happened to me before where it was like a little bit of air. And I was like,
I've done the opposite. I've done the opposite where I've just stopped in the middle of like a slide. Like I just stopped myself on accident and I've taken like a pretty bad, like foot to the back.
Oh my God.
Someone coming down the slide and just being like, oh, this is going to hurt so bad. And then sure enough, like 5 seconds later, just a collision of foot straight to the back. Yeah.
That is the worst. I stopped. Like, what a terrible. I was on a water slide. That's like one of those one sentence horror stories. I was on a water slide and I stopped. Like, that's a terrifying experience. It's terrifying.
Yeah. And it was the worst part about it is one of those rides where it's like they make the tube like pitch black, but put lights in it that are like flashing.
No.
Or like one that looks like you're like going in a circle, so it's cylindrical or whatever. Yeah. It was pitch black. I would have ridden that
ride. Like,
it was nightmare. It was nightmare fuel. I still think about that every once in a while. So, Theme parks.
How do you get moving again?
I got hit in the back by someone going like 20 miles.
And that's what dislodged you?
Yeah, that's what dislodged. Because I was like trying to like paddle down because I knew that was happening. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was trying to like get like movement and like, and then I just got slammed into by the back. And then they were like, oh God, I think someone else is coming. I was like, well, fucking push me or something. So yeah, it was fun. That was in, I think that was Schlitterbahn in San Antonio, Texas, or New Braunfels, maybe. Yeah. Anyways, that's the end of our show, everyone. Theme parks, they're great. Go and support your local theme park.
I can, honest to God, picture you like scrambling, like, oh God, they're coming. Oh God.
Yeah, it was a full-on panic attack moment in a lot of ways. So, yeah.
Oh,
Let's do some shout-outs. Next week will be a great show. Loki episode 1 will be out. We'll have all watched it. We'll go into a deep dive. Should be a lot of fun. I think we're all very much looking forward to it. Between now and then, though, Bronze, what are you up to? What's going on?
Hi, hello. Between now and then, which is going to be a very long couple of days because I'm very excited for the show. I just beat Resident Evil Village on the hardcore difficulty, which was super exciting. And now I'm working through Subnautica Below Zero. And the players in my D&D campaign on Tuesday night have hit level 3. I know, long, grueling session. And we're up to episode 12. And we're doing a series of one-shots to do like little vignettes of each character's like backstory, as well as like the new class features they unlock at level 3. Super excited for the new Marvel tabletop RPG. We probably should have talked about that on this show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week. Let's bring it up.
I'll talk about it next week. Yeah, you can find me on everything at ThatBronzeGirl.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, that I forgot about that. Jesse, what are you doing between now and then? What's going on?
Man, between next week and today, I got a lot of stuff to work on. Because I make a lot of things. I've decided to devote my life to working on sort of wild, goofy things. And so I've got plenty of meetings and plenty of nonsense. And if I find time for video games, I will let you know. You'll be the first to find out by looking at the Twitter link there or just tuning in to Jesse Cox on Twitch. But yeah, I don't know. We finished Resident Evil as well. And that ending was wild, y'all. I got stuff to work on. I got all sorts of ideas and no free time. Let me tell you, y'all.
There you go. This is a crazy week. There's a shit ton of things going on. E3 is getting started Wednesday morning. I think there's like 9 or maybe 10 conferences that we'll be covering as a group. Jesse will be on in some of those, and some of those he won't be. Dodger's going to be joining us for a handful of those. Co and Zeke will be on there. JPedia.net kind of has all the time zone and times /
Sorry, what was that? What was that? Oh, what was that?
JPedia.net.
I both hate and love the geniusness of it.
It's great. It's got it all in your time zone.
JPedia?
Go check it out. It's the JPedia. It's got everything. And then we're doing, Jesse, you'll like this as well. We're also doing another episode live right after this of JPNN, your number one news source for video games. How do you like that one, Jesse?
Don't you already do a show about news?
Not daily. Games? We do daily news, Jesse Cox, JPNN. We've got our own little live ticker that I update manually, and we've got breaking news. I need some more correspondence. If you guys want to be some goofy correspondents, we've got Krendor. He's our eye in the sky, our traffic guy. He lets us know what's going on in the world of video game traffic. I don't know what Bronze.
Every day he does that?
No, not every day
he does that?
No.
I was about to say,
he hasn't filmed
you got him to do every day? I was like,
he hasn't filmed it yet.
I was about to say, you must hold something over him because there's no way he would ever do that.
Yeah, we've got Co Carnage as our COVID correspondent. Yeah, that's a real thing. He hasn't filmed it yet, though. Yeah.
Can I do the word on the street where I just like interview chat like so?
By all means.
Look,
send me a video of you in
New Horizon Zero Dawn trailer drop. How do you feel about it?
It doesn't have to be actual news. It can be literal goof. I think we're gonna get Dodger to be our slice of life, and she's just gonna talk to her chickens. So
can I do a show or can I do a segment where it's me in the middle and then two people who have very different opinions just yell at each other the entire time, and I call it the Cox Box.
Yeah.
And it's like, welcome back to the Cox Box. This episode, Xbox or PS4. People just like go crazy.
Hey, if you want to film that, send me a reel. You know,
I don't.
I feel like that should have been me and Jeff, Jesse.
Yeah,
based off of Deadpan Diaries, I feel like it should have been me and Jeff.
Yeah,
like, and I could just imagine him being like, "Really, Bronze? Really?
The Cock Box? That's a good name.
About that?
I gotta say, Cox.
And then I would just be like, yes, both valid opinions. All right, back to you, JP.
That's exactly
and nothing
what
would
I want.
Be resolved. Nothing would be resolved.
That's gonna be the goof. Is I'm just getting all my friends to do random one-off videos that I'll just randomly slice into the news every day. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, that would be it. It would just be yelling, and that would be,
I just want
you
dumb
be
things.
just like the news. Yeah,
I just want dumb things like that. So if you have a dumb idea, definitely get at me. Okay, it's great. It's good stuff. Jesse's got a lot, I think, is what he's doing.
I was about to say, I have a lot of dumb ideas. Let me tell you.
Great.
So dumb.
Great.
The dumbest.
All right, that's it for the MCU crew. Loki comes out Wednesday. We'll all watch it. You should watch it, and then we'll circle back next week and talk about it. Is it only one episode being released, by the way?
I think it's 2.
Oh, so it is the first 2 episodes this week.
At least people have seen the first 2 episodes. I don't know if we get them, but people have seen the first 2.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. We'll figure it out. They'll let us know. We'll all know on Wednesday. Then we'll come back next week. That's it for the MCU crew, though. Thank you guys for joining us. Jesse, Bronze, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week. Enjoy Loki. I'm out of here. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Bye.